Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Tom Spark. It's been a while. You may notice I'm missing a tooth. I got in a fight. Don't worry, I won. Outside of that, I've pretty much spent the entire last month deep in a coding session making the most advanced R stack imaginable. I would say it's in beta. Most things are working and there's definitely probably some bugs lingering around, but that's why I also made my own privacy-friendly Reddit replacement where you could host your own questions and interact with the community around this project. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into what the hell I'm talking about. Alright guys, so it is live and you can test it out right now. Go to tomsparkbox.com. It's pretty much just one simple command and you could get started with your own private cloud. Now you might be saying, Tom, what the hell are you talking about? And I understand. But guys, pretty much what I did is I made an entire GUI and interface to fix the most common problems I've seen with R stacks. But this is not just about R stacks, because I'm going to be making a lot more videos about this going forward. This is about fixing self-hosting as you know it. Alright guys, just a quick little thing before we start the video. What will you need to do this? So fortunately for you guys, I made this very compatible. It's pretty much available on every Linux distribution, whether that be Ubuntu Server, Debian, and most other kind of things like Arch Linux as well. Let me know if you have any issues with any of these individual distributions, but I've tried to test as many as possible. Secondarily, you can also use this on Windows with WSL2, which is like a Windows sub-Linux environment, which you can install pretty much on any Windows PC. So it will work on Windows as well. It's just kind of like running Linux on Windows, but it's very easy to do inside a terminal. Thirdly, I also made this available on UGREEN NAS because I specifically bought one to test it out. These are very popular, so you can install this environment on these as well. You will need to do some configuration, but I did put that configuration in the docs on the website. So anyone who has a UGREEN NAS and wants to do this, I do a documentation for that. Lastly, if you guys want to use a VPS, I specifically configured it for hosting or in that kind of setup environment since it's a very good deal. So you could very easily go with the 1-month plan for around $6.50 a month, which gives you plenty of need for the basic features. But if you want to go for the more recommended option, around $9 a month will get you a pretty good computer that can run pretty much everything you want from this platform. Use my link in the description down below if you want to use this method. Keep in mind that VPS is a little bit less secure than running it locally. However, I tried to do my best with making this VPS as secure as possible with stuff like fail to ban and all sorts of modifications to make sure it's secure. So that is also definitely an option. If you're someone who doesn't want to spend money or buy something or use one of your devices, this is definitely an option as well. And it's extremely easy to set up immediately. So use my link in the description down below if you want to check out Hostinger and do the VPS method. So guys, very briefly, I want to go over the problems I've noticed with various Sonarr, Radarr, and these kind of configurations, or commonly known as R stacks. Basically, my findings are that after doing tutorials for a long time, they're very annoying to set up and very time intensive. It takes a long time to connect the various applications together. It's confusing navigating to the various IPs and remembering each one. It takes a while setting up various accounts, connecting them all to your VPN and your various different download clients. Overall, the entire experience just feels clunky and disjointed and requires pretty in-depth knowledge to just get everything working correctly. So that's why I came up with a new solution that is completely different. My solution basically is to make a free dashboard. Now there are other paid dashboards out there and other dashboards, but none of them have any of the functionalities that mine does. My dashboard's main functionality is to make it so anyone could easily automate and use self-hosted applications. This applies directly to the R suite. You don't have to set up any of the applications, remember any IP addresses. You don't have to know how to use Docker, terminal commands, or anything like that. All the applications have auto updates, auto configurations, and auto setup with a VPN very easily. Additionally, I wanted to make sure wide compatibility was supported. My SparkBox is available on pretty much every Linux operating system. I've tested a lot of them. It's available on UGREEN NASs. You can actually install this alongside the UGREEN operating system and it doesn't interfere with it at all. How do I know this? Because I bought one and have been testing it, and you can even install it on a VPS. So guys, like I said, the full documentation is available on my website. I made extensive docs, but basically the way you start it off is by getting into your server. So if this is something on your network, you could SSH into it, or even a VPS as well. And then you're just going to want to make sure that your provider, if you're not set up as a root user, you want to kind of fix that so you are set up as a root user. And then you're going to just want to update your system here. And then you're pretty much just going to install the SparkBox with this code like this. And that's automatically going to get everything started. And it looks like this. As you can see here, I pasted the code. It's got this cool little art here. And then it's pretty much just going to start installing everything right away. And once this is done, it's going to give you a bootstrap token. And then you could go to the IP address it tells you after it's installed. And you're pretty much going to be ready for the next step. That's all the code you need to do. Pretty cool, right? And you're going to have this nice little interface. So we're going to copy and paste our bootstrap token and create a password really quickly. Once you do that, you're pretty much off to the races. You can see this little thing here, and you can see a little click here for VPN. If you guys don't have a VPN, I specifically designed SparkBox to work extremely well with VPNs, but specifically a couple of them work even better. Now I picked Surfshark. It's kind of like my daily driver, and I specifically wired this thing like out of the wazoo for Surfshark. And you might be saying, Tom, why did you do that with Surfshark? Are you just sponsored by them or whatever? Well, no, I pretty much am an affiliate for every VPN out there because I've been reviewing VPNs so long. They all give me deals, so I can pretty much pick whatever VPN I want, and you guys buy it, I get a small cutback. So it's not really about that. What it is though is Surfshark specifically is my choice for this. And if you're not using Surfshark, you might want to consider switching. There's a couple different reasons, and I'll just go over them really quickly because I don't want to shill too crazy. Number one is it's pretty much half the price of other VPNs. With my link, you could get $52 for around 28 months. That means it's around $2 a month, which is much cheaper than most other VPNs. Secondarily, it comes with WireGuard configuration on their website. Not every VPN does this, and in fact, a lot of them don't. And for the price, combined with the WireGuard configurations, combined with the speeds, it means it's really the only choice, in my opinion, if you want to get the optimal VPN. Now, like I said, it does work with other VPNs like Proton, and I tested that and it made sure it worked with those kind of options. But the thing I found out is that some of these other VPNs don't pick services well and stuff like that. There's some restrictions on P2P, and Surfshark has none of that. So if you want the best out-of-box fluid experience, check out Surfshark, and I'll put a link in the description down below. Like I said, it's really worth switching to just because it works so well with this setup, but also it's a really good VPN for around $2 a month, so you can't really go wrong. My link gives you an extra month as well. So like I said, it's 28 months for that price. Anyways, with that in mind, let's get in to show you how cool this is. All right, guys, you just click get started here. I might have to move around a little bit, but yeah, this is the bright theme. Check this out. Boom, dark mode and light mode. So there you go. And don't worry, the docs are in dark mode. Check this out. Look at all this documentation. I've been working on this like crazy, guys. Not only that, but it also has light mode here as well. And it has a search function. You're welcome. This is all free, by the way. All right, guys. So check it out. This is the GUI. We have information about our system stats. Look at all this updates. If you guys are like, Tom, why are you doing this for free? You know, why is this not open source? You guys want to see how much work I've been putting into this? Check this out. Look at this. All right, guys, so check this out. This is how easy it is. All you do, okay, let's say you want to put the R stack right. Okay, check this out, guys. 1 second. Just needed to grab my WireGuard key from Surfshark. So all you do is go to the app section. There's an app. There's like a thing at the top. You can't really see it right now. There you go. So you can see the different little things here. You have settings, which I made really configurable, and it has community. You can report bugs. If you go to the community tab, it's going to take you to my little, this is like my Reddit clone that I made that's just better than Reddit. You can post all your questions here and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and go to apps. Check this out, guys. All these apps here, self-hosted Nirvana. Check this out. All these apps you can install just like an app store. Oh, look at this. Media Center, RStack. Look at that, guys. Let me move my picture here. Look how many apps like this. All right, guys, so let's see how easy it is. So normally this would take like an hour to make a video, just setting it up, and I've done this lots of times, very experienced. But let's say you're doing this for the first time. I would estimate 3 to 4 hours, right? That's how long it's going to take you to set up. And you're probably not going to know how to use it, and you're going to have issues. let's see how long it takes me to set up with SparkBox. We're going to click install. Now we're going to click apply changes. This is just going to give you some information. Oh, looky here. You want to put a VPN on? Okay, yeah, I'll do that. All you literally have to do, if you guys are using Surfshark with my link down below, you just copy and paste one WireGuard key from their website, and then all you do after that is just pick a server. That's literally it. And what this is doing is, this is an advanced configuration, by the way. This is using Gluetun with Docker, which basically means your entire R stack is kind of contained within a VPN interface, which means nothing is going to be leaking out. And by the way, most of the rest of the box is just like local only. So this kind of stuff is pretty advanced when it comes to networking, and it would be very hard to set up yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and paste my WireGuard key over here, pick my server, and click save and install. I'm not going to show you that part because I don't want to have to blur it out, because a WireGuard key you could copy and use my VPN, and we don't want to do that, do we? Buy your own. All right, guys, put in my WireGuard key. Check this out. So this is kind of what it looks like when you're actually installing SparkBox for the first time. Like I said, in your terminal, you copy and paste that code, and then this is kind of what it's kind of look like. But it also does this here. So basically what this is doing is it's installing all those different applications, like 15 of them, whatever. It's configuring it. They're all like syncing up and working together. And when it's done, it will say done. So the cool thing about this, guys, I spent like 2 weeks on a couple different things. One thing is one of the pain points with RStacks, like I said, is the fact that you will kind of set it all up and then you have to manually configure each one, right? I made it so each one is connected to each other and you don't have to configure them individually. Not only that, but the SparkBox itself is smart enough to give you password and credentials, or just automatically log you in if you don't really need to. So a lot of those pain points when it comes to these applications, whether that be knowing the website to go to, knowing your password, I took care of all that for you guys. And that took a long time to get that all working correctly, but in the end, I think it was worth it. So I'm going to let this finish here and come back really soon. All right, guys, just a minute later and we're already all done. So just click done. You can install a couple of these apps too. I've been trying to test a lot of these to make sure they work. Some might have a little bit of issues, but if you do have issues with any other apps, just let me know down in the forums on my community Demox that I was talking about, and I will fix it rapidly. But for this point of this video, the R stack, it's working. I've been polishing it like crazy, like polishing my knob. All right, guys, let's go to the home tab. And as you can see here, guys, we now have this cool little application section, just like an iPad or something like that. And it's going to be you're just going to be able to click on any of these and go to the website itself. You can also see the health of the individual things like here. You can restart them, pause them. Generally, I would recommend waiting for them all to just kind of like have that kind of healthy, make sure that it doesn't say starting. But they all should be pretty good to go right now. So let's go ahead and do the first thing you need to do. You need to set up your VPN, right? Wrong. Check this out, guys. Look at this at top. Look at this cool little banner. Surfshark is already good to go. It's already picked a fast server because I picked it in that screen. It's connected. This entire thing is protected by Surfshark, and I don't need to set it up anymore. It's 100% always active and protected, and it's got a cool little banner here to let you know that it's going. Pretty cool, right? That took me a while to do. But guys, the first thing you're going to want to do when it comes to RStack, of course, if you're unfamiliar with it, is you're going to have to add an indexer. Check this out. You didn't even have to set a password or anything like that. It just knows how to do it. Now, for the purpose of this video, guys, I'm not encouraging you to do anything illegal, download any kind of copyright protected content. So guys, when adding indexers, it's kind of a little hairy area. Now I did everything I could on my side to make this better. But basically what happens is that when you're connected to a VPN, a lot of certain websites or websites protected by Cloudflare don't kind of like these kind of like automated R stack kind of things. And what happens is they block some of them. You could probably just use something like this one on the screen. This one will probably work, or maybe a couple others. Could be something like this one. This also could work if you guys are looking for an indexer that just works. I also could make videos in the future about Usenet. Let me know down in the comments down below if that's something you're interested in. So guys, I already added my indexer, and the nice thing about SparkBox is you don't really have to worry about all the other stuff, right? So Prowlarr's already connected to Radarr, already connected to Sonarr, qBittorrent's already connected to Radarr, and these kind of things. Jellyfin's already connected to qBittorrent. Seerr is also connected, so you could queue up movies that way, and I'll show you how to do that. But check out qBittorrent here. So for example, this is really cool. So like I said, it automatically generates you credentials, so you don't have to worry about them, or you don't have to lose them. And it'll show you this here. So pretty much all we do here is just go to admin. You don't have to know the IP or anything like that. There you go. qBittorrent's already set up and ready to go. So let's go ahead and show you how it would work and how easy this is, guys. So pretty much we're going to go to Seerr, and here we go. It's already got the password and everything like that for me there. It'll make your own when you set that up. So I had a lot of bugs with Seerr. It's a very buggy app, but I think I got everything fixed. If you guys have any issues, let me know down in the comments down below or on my Demox. Basically, one of the bugs I had is that for some reason it would always keep logging me out. I had to do something with cookies or something like that, but I think I did fix it eventually. But as you see now here, it works really well. So what we're going to do now, guys, is look up Night of the Living Dead. This is a copyright-free movie. I'm not endorsing piracy or anything like that. We just click request, and then we're going to put request here. And then it's going to, as you can see, well, you can't see. There you go. Requested successfully in the top right. So basically what we're going to do now, guys, is to see if it worked. Now, as you guys know, we haven't spent that much time doing this, but let's go ahead and go to Radarr. We haven't even opened it up, but look, watch this, guys. This is cool. We don't know. Look, it's already there. It's already there. So guys, you could start, you're starting to probably see now, you're probably starting to get a half chub if you're familiar with this stuff. It's pretty cool. So it's gonna put it into Radarr. qBittorrent's gonna start downloading it. Now this is a little bit of an older thing, but look, it's already there. It's already downloading. I didn't even do anything. So pretty cool, right? So I didn't even have to set up Seerr. So it's already downloading. Once that's done, it's gonna go into Jellyfin. I can show you that as well. So we're just going to click Jellyfin. This is like our media thing. And then once you want to watch this on another device, you just connect to SparkBox's IP. We'll be showing those in the documents and everything like that. You'll know the IP. You just connect it to the SparkBox, and there you go. So there we go. It has some server mismatch thing. I've been testing like crazy. There you go. So let's go ahead and log in. And then once it's done, it'll go into the movie section here. It's not done yet, so it's not there, but that is where it will be. Now, guys, there's also other cool things that you could play around with. So what do you want to do if you want to access your SparkBox remotely, right? Well, you could use something like Tailscale. Now, the cool thing about some of the VPS options, like Hostinger, you can pretty much go to the website yourself. You don't really need to activate Tailscale. But if it is a local box at home like my NAS is, and you want to watch things remotely, you're going to want to use something like Tailscale. You could also set up VPN, and I had WireGuard on here as well. There might be still a little bit more testing. If you guys want to help test this out to see if it works, let me know on my Demox. Like I said, this is going to be the area to let me know how things are working, report bugs, anything like that. But Tailscale is compatible with this setup. So pretty much you're just going to install it, and then you'll be able to connect it to your Tailscale, see SparkBox and all the different things running on it, and you're going to be off to the races with full remote compatibility. So really nice here, guys. Now, if you guys want to learn more about SparkBox, we'll check out all these different applications you could play with, image, stuff like that. All you have to do is click install, and everything on this thing has cool little tooltips. See this, guys? It's showing you what it does. The applications, this will show you what this does. So if you ever need any help, there's so many tooltips here. This used to be like a paid product before. I decided just to make it free and say fuck it. So there's like some little remnants of that I still need to remove, but right now it's running without a license. You have all sorts of configurations you could play around with, auto backups. So you could do auto backups, things like that. Lots of different things you could play around with, guys. It's just really powerful, really customizable, and extremely easy to use. So let me know if you're going to try it down in the comments down below. Come check out Demox. This is, like I said, my own private Reddit alternative, completely self-hosted by myself, completely free to use as well. It doesn't require email, anything like that. Just go to demox.world. The entire website is moderated by AI agents that are fair. So if you're looking for a Reddit alternative and you want a new community, check this out as well. It's just a really cool place, but it is kind of like my place to interact with the community. So kind of what I've been doing with it. So guys, let me know any questions down in the comments down below. And I look really forward to making more videos on SparkBox. I'm going to probably make a lot of videos making more iterations, testing out different things, making sure they all work. So that way self-hosting is easier than ever before, and you could take back your privacy. All right, guys, thanks for checking out this video, and I'll see you again very soon.